Now, arriving, I think it was Christmas 1991, was my first outing with the Sega Master System. Before that, I'd just had a ZX Spectrum and had many years of entertainment with that system. But for that Christmas, I asked for either a Mega Drive, which I was hinting I kind of wanted, or a Master System. I got the Master System too, but it was an awesome console. I got it on Christmas Day, played Alex Kidd in Miracle World, the built-in game, all day and possibly for the rest of the year, whilst also dabbling in rental games throughout the year, which I rented from Ritz for, a week or so. And it was a great system, and it formed my psyche because it made me root for the underdog. I used to get copies of Mean Machine's Sega and Sega Power and score and look for Master System conversions of Mega Drive games, and it was bloody exciting once I found one. I've got so much love and affection for this console because of that, and I always used to think in my mind that the Master System versions of games were just as good, if not better, than their Mega Drive counterparts. At its core, it's a fairly basic system. It's an 8-bit system. It's more powerful than the NES by, a fair amount, and you can see that in quite a few of the games. But unfortunately, Nintendo beat the Japanese market with the Famicom and the American market with the NES by about a year, and Master System, Sega and their Master System trundled over, and they were like, oh, we're too late here. But they did find the niche in Europe and the UK, where Nintendo hadn't done their advertising and marketing work as well. And that's where things really took off, and the Master System sold better than the NES over here in the UK, and it was a better system, so it's worthy of it. It's just a shame it didn't get as much worldwide attention that it probably should have deserved. There's two versions. We've got the Master System 1, and on the back that's got the RGB port. On the front it's got a card reader which allows games from the Sega Mark II, which was a Japanese system, to be played, and it also allowed you to plug in 3D glasses if you wanted to use them. Probably wouldn't. The Sega Master System 2 came out at the same time as the Mega Drive to try and revitalise the 8-bit machine. And, it's a cut-down version. We've got an RF port on the back. We've lost the RGB connectivity. We've lost the card input, but it looks neater, and it had a built-in game of Alex Kidd in Miracle World to begin with, and that was followed up by Sonic the Hedgehog after a while. And it's strange because I got rid of my Master System in early '93, I think, but it was... that machine, it started to take off more then. We started to get ports of Mortal Kombat 2 and Streets of Rage, and the system kept going until the mid-90s. And all these ports which I yearned for on the system started appearing after I got rid of it and finally went on to a Mega Drive. So it's good that the system kept going. It's just a shame that I didn't have access to these ports at the time, but it doesn't really matter because the system paved the way for my console dreams, if you like. It was just something of a revolution to be able to load games instantaneously on a piece of hardware which claimed to be close to the arcades. That's what Sega's advertising said, and it was fairly close to the arcades because these were ports by Sega, who were big in the arcade scenes at the time, and they were quality ports. The system had grunt to make the ports seem reasonable compared to home computers of the time. So it was a bit of a revelation, and for that I'll ever love the Sega Master System. There's even something about the controllers I love. I mean, they're just square little pads, just like the NES really, but with fewer buttons. But I don't know, something about the way they're built. I mean, it's probably pure nostalgia. I mean, if we take a critical view, the pads themselves aren't really that great, and they're a bit spongy. But it's just something about the little Sega logo in the middle, and how the wire comes out the back like it does on all pads, but especially on this pad. It's just something so compelling about this system and this pad. And of course, they go into the standard Sega, well, I say Sega, really it's an Atari 9-pin port. And these things were fairly reliable, not as chunky as Nintendo port variants, but they did the job. Anyway, let's just run through some of its better games, just so you can get a look at what this console can really do. If you fancy checking out my Sega Master System versus Mega Drive video, which is, a bit of a pairing, a bit of a strange pairing, then feel free to click on the thing which should appear at the top of the screen now. Otherwise, that's the end of this Sega Master System inspection. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon.